One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it.
All right, with that being said, let's move on. Talking about driver earnings. Are they keeping pace with vehicle ownership costs?
Okay, I'm going to plug our newsletter here. Listen, folks, I've been writing for RSG for over 6 years. Chris, those 2 articles went out this week. They may have been the best 2 articles I've ever written. I liked it. I don't know. So I talk about this subject, average cost of owning and operating an automobile. And because there was some comment saying that, our costs have gone up. Look at this. Look at the orange graph, orange line, orange chart, folks. Going from 2000 to 2024. This is just for 15,000 miles a year, by the way, Chris. Okay. That's like 3 months of work for a full-time Uber driver. So your costs are going to be worse. And I wrote an article about this, and I wrote an article about the human cost of driving for Uber. Not just financial, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. I swear to God, if you guys don't go subscribe to the newsletter and read those goddamn articles, it's free. I don't know. I may just throw a shit. I'm telling you guys, those 2, this one with the cost analysis, much deeper, the article and the other one are going to probably drop this week. Please go subscribe just to read those 2 articles. Just subscribe to the newsletter. And the costs have gone up. So from 2000, Chris, from about 7,200, now we're at 12,000. This is just for 15,000 miles a year. And that's about double and a half-ish, somewhere in that range. And if you divide that by 24, which is 24 years, it comes to about 6 or 7% per year vehicle cost inflation. But specifically, I want you guys to get the little right side of the chart. What has happened since 2020, 2021? You guys see that huge leg up. Costs, vehicle maintenance and operating costs have taken up. Well, are your earnings keeping pace with that? Just this. Just your vehicle operating cost inflation. We're not talking about your rent. We're not talking about your, insurance. We're not talking about your food cost. We're not talking about any of the personal shit. We're just talking about running vehicle costs have skyrocketed. And on the next slide, we can look at what has happened to insurance rates. And here it is, folks. Look at this and read them and weep. This is by Creative Planning, U.S. auto insurance rates, 5-year percentage change. Well, you guys are paying for it because without having insurance, you can't get on the platform. You have to upload those insurance forms. And look where we are. So, question is that, though, have your earnings kept pace? Basically, what I'm trying to say is you had to earn about 6 to 10% more each year since 2019 just to keep pace with these cost increases. Not for more profit, just to keep pace. According to Len, you're making, and grid-wise, you're making 20% less, not 50% more, because about 10% a year for 5 years is 50%. So Uber, Lyft, wake the F up. There's a revolution. This is bullshit. Why don't you write a blog about this? Why don't you guys disagree with this? Huh? Why don't you do that? Let me see your blog. Write it, say this is, what is this, misleading hearsay or whatever. Why don't you guys write about this? Why don't you guys educate your drivers that your vehicle operating inflation has gone through the roof, but we're not going to pay you more anyway. In fact, we're going to pay you less under upfront fares. Why don't you guys write about this? Huh? I don't see a blog about that, but I did. And I'm going to send it to you guys once the article comes out. Hope you guys read it. There you go.
Sergio, you're being wildly misleading
and
Fuck off.
accusing Uber and Lyft of paying drivers less. Well, we all know that drivers are earning more.
I'm hot already, so don't get me hotter. Okay.
No, so in other words, yeah, you got to pay attention to that. I actually posted something about the costs of a car and you know, the cost per mile, and you know, it kind of encompasses a lot of things. So depreciation, insurance, all of these things. So you know exactly what it is per mile, and they're like some of the best on the market right now. And that's talking about, you know, a Tesla Model 3, a Toyota Corolla, these types of vehicles, and they're like at the 66 to 80 cent a mile range. Are you making 66 to 80 cents a mile range when you are driving Uber or Lyft? Because if not, you might be underwater and you just don't know it yet because you're trading your inflation for actual money. So you really got to make sure you figure out your costs when you're driving.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. You know, I think it's a farce. I think it's a tragedy, you know, that more people are doing this out of just trying to close the holes in their budget, because their budgets are like Swiss cheese, so many holes in their budgets. But they drive, they must. And Uber says, and you know, the Lyft too, they say, oh, more hours on the platform than ever. Yeah, they have to make ends meet, and they have to in order to make the same amount of money they did 4 years ago. They have to. And you, Uber and Lyft, say, oh, drivers are making $30 per active hour, which is bullshit, meaningless lumber, because at 50% utilization. And on the other hand, you're boasting about having 8 million drivers on the platform, Uber. Okay? So what does that mean? If you have more drivers, that means utilization rates are lower. Who gives a shit if I earn $30 an hour active if my utilization is down to 50% because there's 8 Ubers at every corner of Los Angeles? Let's talk shit. Come here. Come on the show. Talk to me. Huh? You won't. I know you won't. That's why I just do this.
Yep.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.